Hello. I would like to explain a little bit about the weekly portion of Vayeshev according to the eyes of the Ramchal. ויאמרו לו אחיו המלוך תמלוך עלינו אם משול תמשול בנו ויוסיף עוד שונא אותו על חלומותיו ועל דבריו. And his brethren said unto him, shall to indeed reign over us, or shall to indeed have domination over us? And they hated him yet the more for his dreams and for his words. So Joseph's brother didn't like dream interpretations of his, so they contemplated a fatal act and either killing or selling their brothers as a slave. So Jacob had 12 sons, all of them were righteous tzaddikim, and later this becoming the origin of the 12 tribes. Why really it is not necessary for us to be tzaddikim, we still may not think or act such a way towards others, right? So let's examine more deeply what happened about Joseph and his brothers. So everyone was aware of Joseph's abilities among his brothers, that he belonged to the sefirah of Yesod. So Yesod basically provides the connection to Malchut, that is for manifestation, while drawing down the energies from above. So Joseph's soul was very unique and complex, and undoubtedly a leader personality that he had. And his brothers were aware of this. They didn't want to accept that the time for realizing this Yesod, the time for the Yesod hadn't come yet. They believe that they need to wait for it, a few more generations to be happen. Perhaps it could happen after the Egyptian exile, but not right now. So Joseph, on the other hand, believed that the time had already come. So the issue his brothers had was not Joseph's merits or the recognition of his facts, but with the timing, basically. So one thought or the time already come, this is what we have to manifest, the other not. In the Torah, Joseph interprets two similar dreams. So why these recurring dreams? It repeats to basically to draw our attention towards it, to deepen the understanding, and indicates that fulfillment is about to be approached. It serves as a reminder for us, and an obstacle may arise during the realization. For example, if a dream is positive, the negative side might be jealous that they don't have an active role in this execution, and we need to quiet the negative side to give them something. ויאמר אליהם שמונה החלום הזה אשר חלמתי. And said unto them, I pray to you this dream which I have dreamt. Okay, and ויהיו בעת ההוא וירד יהודה מאת אחיו וית עד איש אדולמתי ושמו חירה. And it came to pass the time that Judah went down for his brethren and turned into a certain Adulamite, whose name was Hira. וירא שם יהודה בת איש כנעני ושמו שועה, ויקח ויבוא עליה. And Judah saw there was a daughter of a certain Canaanite whose name was Shua, and he took her and went into her. ותהר ותלד בן, ויקרא את שמו and she conceived and bore a son and called his name ותהר עוד ותלד בן, ותקרא את שמו אונן. And she conceived again and bore a son, she called his name Onan. ותוסף עוד ותלד בן, ותקרא את שמו שלה, וחיה בכזיב, ולידת אותו. And yet she had bore a son and called him Shelah, and he was a Chaziv when she bore him. So Judah married this Canaanite woman. While the woman may have been desirable or beautiful, unfortunately, the Canaanite people the root of this nation is not into the holiness, but into this negativity. Interestingly, in this case, the Torah didn't find it important to mention who Judah married. Instead, we find this information that she was the daughter of Shua, right? Bat Shua. Judah's wife bore him 3 sons, Onan and Shelah. This we have in the story. The name basically, it means to wake up. And it was the point when Judah understood who had really he married, what kind of spiritual origin this woman, this nation have. So with the name Er, he attempted to change that so his children could receive a more pure energy than the Canaanite nation. So the genetics often leaves its mark, right? However, from this awakening, Er that didn't succeed, and it became a Ra. So we switched the letters, and we have Er, Ayin, Resh, we have Resh, Al, Ayin. So this negative emerged, and Judah failed and raised his son successfully. ויהי בכור יהודה רע בעיני Hashem וימתוהו Hashem. And Judah's firstborn son, was wicked in the sight of God, and God slew him. So this verse also states that Judah's son named was drawn into negativity, and his genetics overrode what his father Judah given him. So Judah's second son was named Onan. He received his name because he was conceived when there was a death in the family, but the deceased family member hadn't been buried yet. In such circumstances, we can assume that the soul created under these conditions won't be entirely happy and a balanced person. So when Yehuda noticed this, he gave another name to his son, Keziv. Through the changing name, we can really change the destiny. Also, he knew, so therefore this additional name was added. So in name Kaziv turned into Kazav, which means falsehood or lies. So here too, these genetics overrode these paternal values that added during the name change. Okay, so you try to make it more positive. With the name, this name change, Judah interval is also transformed as he continued his tikkun, hoping that he would eventually overcome and neutralize the negative, these Canaanite energies. ותוסף עוד ותלד בן ותקרא שמו שלה, וחיה בכזיב בלידתה אותו. And yet she again bore a son, called his name Shela, and it was at Chaziv when she bore him. Therefore, when the third son was born, he named Shela, signifying this overship, as felt that he had succeeded in this overcoming these changes in his tikkun. So this child no longer belonged to this negative side, but rather to the realm of holiness. So Judah learned the importance of choosing a life partner based on values and lifestyle. Therefore, for his son, he chose a righteous woman. Her name was Tamar. So women can have significant influence on men, leading them to spirituality. Tzadik כתמר יפרח כארז בלון ישגה. The righteous shall flourish like the palm tree, shall grow like the cedar in Lebanon. So Er's wife was Tamar. However, Er didn't want his wife to become pregnant, so it would change her like beautiful body. He thought only for himself, his own selfishness, that they didn't have a child together. So Er died early in age, and in the Jewish halakha we find that the concept of yibum, which dictates that the brother when the brother dies, childless, is the duty of another brother to marry the widow. So thus Tamar became Amnon's wife, and she bore him children of Peretz and Zerach. So the chain continued when Amnon died. Judah also could continue to the Yibum, but then at the time Judah prevented Tamar from marrying the third brother, so she remained a woman raising her child alone without any husband, okay, that time. So we gain insight into these details of Judah's son's tikkun. It wasn't an easy journey for anyone, even for Judah, to see what is happening with his children at the time. We also saw that Judah, he did recognize the challenges and try to correspond to them, each of them. So basically, it's not easy for anyone in the lifetime. Everyone having their own task and a lesson to learn. In prison, Joseph encounters the chief baker and the cupbearer, both of whom he had dreams that then Joseph interpreted it. In their dream, they received messages, but they couldn't understand the meaning. So Joseph's unique ability was required for this test. So one dream symbolized life, while the other will mean death. The chief cupbearer, who was reinstalled in Pharaoh in his position, was asked by Joseph to mention him to Pharaoh once he was released. Thus, is anticipating Joseph's own release from prison. So could it be that the tzaddik, like Joseph, didn't place his trust directly in the Creator, but instead of them, he entrusted the chief cupbearer to take action while he was close to Pharaoh. So Joseph, of course, did not deviate from his righteous path. When the cupbearer encountered his dream, Joseph not only interpreted the dream, but also discerned a message indicating that his own liberation was near. So Joseph's only mistake was involving this cupbearer. Once he understood the dream's symbolic message, Joseph should have accepted it and waited for it to unfold. Instead, he secured an additional 2 years in prison by seeking this assurance of helping out. This highlights the importance of certainty. And during this week, we can reaffirm this commitment we approach to the certainty is always, it's very important. כי אם זכרתי אתכם כאשר יתבע לך ועשית נא עמדי חסד. We have me in the remembrance when it shall be with the three, and show kindness, I pray thee unto me, make me mention unto Pharaoh to bring me out of this house. In this expression we see Joseph, through dreams interpretation, offered advice and solution to this chief cupbearer. In return, he expected the cupbearer to do something for him, to speak kindly of him to Pharaoh. We observe the balance of give and take. So he is giving this interpretation, and he would expect something to be done for him. So this is the principle, is reciprocity. Kasher yitva lecha, as it goes well with you. Okay, so this was about the dreams of Pharaoh. Hopefully you had few thoughts, inside thoughts, and see you next week. Thank you. Bye-bye.